In the burning sands of northern Africa, beneath a hot desert sun, a powerful kingdom thrived for thousands of years. Strong kings and queens built massive temples and buried their dead in pyramid-shaped tombs. But this is not Egypt, and the people who made these monuments were not ancient Egyptians. This is the Sudan, the largest country in Africa and the birthplace of Nubia, a golden kingdom nourished by the Nile.
At that time, it was the largest country of the whole world. It was an empire, a real empire.
An empire with a language that scholars still can't read. Lost in the shadows, the history of ancient Nubia has remained a mystery until now.
You have the chance to find something for the first time. We're writing the history books right now from the antiquities of this country.
From the ground comes evidence of sacred rituals. An ancient crime scene.
It looks as if someone has deliberately come and smashed this altar into many, many pieces.
And a ruthless invasion that may have brought down the powerful empire. Turning detective, these archaeologists will use the tools of their trade to piece together the final days of a lost city and bring to life a forgotten kingdom, a land called Nubia. Ancient Nubia began to emerge as a powerful state in what is now Sudan around 2000 BC. Not long after the first Egyptian dynasties had forged their own nation farther to the north. From the beginning, Nubian rulers and their formidable armies of skilled archers were perceived by the Egyptians as a force to be reckoned with, and a dangerous competitor for control of the southern reaches of the Nile. For many years, Egyptian pharaohs held sway over their southern adversaries. But there came a time when the Nubians turned the tables and conquered Egypt. Rivals at war, partners in trade, the history of these two nations would be intertwined for millennia. Today, it's the Egyptians who bask in the limelight, but the story of one of their greatest rivals is beginning to emerge from the shadows. The Nubians were African, sophisticated and artistic. They flourished independently of Egypt for thousands of years. Rich veins of gold brought Nubian rulers great wealth. Artists excelled at fashioning the precious metal into jewelry to adorn their royal patrons. Ceramics produced by Nubian potters were considered some of the finest in the ancient world. Nubian architects not only built temples to a unique pantheon of gods, they also revitalized Egyptian traditions. Today, Sudan has nearly 3 times as many pyramids as Egypt.
When I think about all those powerful kings who ruled over the Sudan, I like very much that those people would have been my ancestors. Always I feel I am part of them.
In the 1920s, Harvard archaeologist George Reisner excavated Nubia's magnificent tombs and laid the foundation for a chronology of kings and queens that spans more than 1,000 years. We have their names, but many of their stories are still lost in the cryptic code of the Nubian script. To decipher the language, archaeologists dream of finding a new Rosetta Stone, like the one used to translate Egyptian hieroglyphs in 1822.
That would be absolutely fantastic if we were to find such a document. It's a scholar's dream to find a clue to solve a puzzle like this.
Now a remarkable new site, a lost city in the sand, may hold the key to unlocking Nubia's past. Archaeologists Julie Anderson and Salah Ahmed must travel 220 miles north of Khartoum. It takes 9 dust-choked hours to reach their destination, the modern village of Dangale. The site lies hidden beneath mysterious mounds of sand near the center of town. It's a well-preserved Nubian city, 2,000 years old, and some 24 football fields in size. European explorers passed through this remote corner of northern Sudan in the 1800s. They left record of red brick rubble-strewn mounds. But it wasn't until Julian Salah explored the site 3 years ago that the existence of an ancient city was finally confirmed.
We started digging, and in the first 20 minutes, we found what looked like a floor, and we started clearing it off, and then we found the edges, and we realized it was a huge wall we were standing on. It wasn't a floor at all. It was quite a shock. We suddenly began to understand that the site was absolutely huge, much, much larger than we had ever anticipated.
Unearthing the city will take many years, a huge workforce, and the hefting of countless buckets of sand. But already, an impressive structure is coming to light. Beneath one of the central mounds, the team has found the remains of one of the largest temples in the Sudan. Julie and Salah don't know exactly when it was built, but they believe it is dedicated to the supreme god worshipped by both Nubians and Egyptians, the ram-headed Amun. Temples to this king of gods have a classic shape, based on the one built by the Egyptians at Karnak, and the layout of Dangale seems to follow suit. After several months of hard labor, the workmen have moved over 1 million pounds of sand and exposed one of the finest paved courtyards Salah has ever seen.
I'm actually sitting on the floor of the second courtyard of the temple of Dangale, and as you see, it is a very beautiful floor, beautifully done, carved in sandstone tiles. The joints between the tiles are very narrow and they are really very compact. It looks fresh, as if it has never been used.
In another part of the temple, Julie has unearthed the remains of a large sandstone column. Buried for centuries, carved figures have been protected from the abrasive power of wind and sand.
He's beautiful. Got a little belly button.